Hi guys, today I will bring to you the state and props in React.js and have a curiosity also, for example, to use props like async functions. So today we will talking about the state in React.js, the use of props, the use of callback functions, the real code sample, and that's it. Let's continue. The state in React.js. Okay. Imagine the class beer here. Extends React component. Construct. We have some props. So this is the state. Temperature. The state of the temperature for the beer. Temperature cold. So we use the state of on property in particular. This is the temperature, and we make the attribution to the temperature in this state for this property, and in the constructor we will, for example, in the real example of code, use the state and see another ways to use the state for the real sample in the code. So let's continue. Don't forget, this state is to keep some value about on a property in some class. Okay. So let's continue. Imagine the use of props, like you see before. We have the constructor and create, for example, for this class in particular, the props itself. And the props is the property of the component or the class in the end. Okay, so let's continue. The use of callback functions. For example, imagine this. You have the parent component, use the props to pass some values to the child component, right? So, and after, to pass from the child to parent, we will use callback function to pass some value to the parent component. So from the parent component to the child, we will use props and the function by the prop itself. Okay, and after we will this callback function in the child make the connection to the parent. Wow, this is amazing, but sometimes very, very annoying and very, very, very difficult to understand. So we will pass to the code sample example and see this running. So guys, so simple then. Imagine this. We will go the CRUD React aspects species, CRUD operation species using the web parts in SharePoint. Okay, it's React application in the end. So let's see the code. What I want talking about with you. So to do this, I want, for example, bring you this application here. I have a parent, a list, it's my parent, and I have, for example, the item in the list is the child, another component in React. Okay, so this is another component. So if I make the cancel here, must cancel, right? Right. But if I make the save, I want, for example, give the same and of course update the list itself. So I use the approach of async callback to retrieve the state of the list and reload the list. So let's see it. For example, guys, imagine this is I will begin. So keep your attention. I guess it's important. See this. I have, for example, the state here. In this state, what we have in this state? The items in the list, the columns of the list, the selection details of the list, to show edit panel, the panel we see in the addiction, select customer, the customer selected in the list with the mouse, and go back async callback function. This go back we pass, for example, to this in using the props. Okay, we pass the props, and after we pass in the state props dot state dot go back, put this to this function go back here to the child, and of course we put the go back in the on click cancel operation. Right, and for example, see here, on click update customer, we use, for example, directly the state go back, because we know if and maintains for this particular case and that class the edit, we attribute a callback function to another callback. So in the state, okay guys, see, we use the state to make the go back, but we don't have any function here go back. So we make a connection between the child and the parent itself. It's the same function, so it's easy to understand that with a real example of the code. Sometimes the most difficult for us to understand is if you see academics example. It's difficult for me, for example, it's difficult to me to understand the way to programming some stuff in the academic way to show, you know. If we see here a real example, for example, I want open this, so now I must pass, for example, if I save, I want to reload the list with my values. Why the way I do this? So I need pass some. But yeah, but you make a lot of questions, you know. So it's easy. The way to do this is so simple. Then okay, I have a function in my father. I have a function here in this component and open the other component. So now this button itself and this, okay, this in particular, okay, only use the other function callback, this function. So I pass a function to the child to make some operations to the parent. Okay, for example, guys, the panel itself not exist in the child. Okay, see, don't have a component panel here. The panel we saw there exists here. Okay, see, this is the panel in the father. So I must pass a function callback, and to do this I use the state, okay, and of course pass the state to the child and use the action callback to make the operations. So that's it for today. If you like the video, subscribe, share the channel, and I try to help you, and of course we grow up together to be a nice, amazing programmer. Don't forget. Bye folks, see you soon.